Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to Pro Cycling Manager 2019 Classics Rider episode number 28. Final day of the year. Let's go ahead and move forward. A lot's going to happen on January 1st. Of course, updates, calendars, all of that. But we're also about to level up with the turn of the month, so we'll see what happens with that, if we get any attribute increase, or whether it's going to be just skill points this time. That, by the way, is something much easier to keep track of if you only have one series active. You keep bouncing between them all, you know. Okay, we do get evolution of attributes. That's good. That's good. Next time, we gain access to the Tour de France and then a skill point. So, what do we have here? Well, it's our Classics Rider. The mountain rating definitely is one giant stinker still, so love to see that improved. Likewise, the resistance, which right now we're seeing stamina, 1 mountain point, that's not much. Time trial, useless to us. The sprint does a little bit for us. I mean, the faster you are, better chance you have of winning those individual stages, which is what we go for. Plus the hill rating, so that's not terrible, but I think I'd rather have the... we could go to an 82 on those hills. I think I have enough in that department for now. Why is the resistance not going up in anything? Cobble +2, hills +1, flat +1. Prologue doesn't mean anything to us, but the I don't care about the recovery, not really. Alright, so we're looking at Puncher with 2 hill points. Classics gets a hill point and 2 cobble points, so that already declares itself better. Ooh, where'd it go? Yeah, plus a flat point. Climber comes just with the 1 mountain point. That's not that useful in the grand scheme of things. Sprinter, not enough there either. So we're looking at... you know what? The bonus point for Puncher is nice and all, plus the stamina. But the Classics actually gives that as well. Plus a whole lot more. I'd like to have that point for the mountain, but there's just not enough going with it in any way whatsoever. So I think I'm going to take the Classics this time. Technically, that's what we are anyway. I don't see the cobbles as much as I see the hills. So I kind of like the hills, but again, what's that 1 more point on hills really going to do for us versus a point on the flat, an extra point on the cobbles, even a bonus for prologue, which doesn't mean anything, but 2 points on stamina. I'd really like to see that resistance go up a little bit, but okay, well, let's see the calendar, what we are in for this year as a rookie Bahrain Merida rider. We'll come back to that skill point in a little bit. So they've got us signed up for the Santos Tour Down Under, so we've got an early start to our season. Mallorca, Tour of Oman. So we've got a pretty strong start to the year. All 3 of those are hill stages. Paris-Nice. Catalonia. That's a really good first 3 months. By the way, we have 130 points all to the schedule. Not necessarily looking to do that this year. Maybe next year we'll get all. And then the Classics, including the big ones. Oh, and the Giro. Don't exactly have the recovery for that, but Dauphiné, Mont Ventoux. I'll like that one. Well, no, I won't. I have an abysmal mountain rating. What am I talking about? Same there. That's some pretty steep stuff for really one stage. Taking me out of the national championships? For what? Nothing. It's just about selection. Presumably. We're in Ride London and La Vuelta. A lot of punchy ones though. La Vuelta is a good match. Not exactly a great finish to the season after La Vuelta, but really good up until that point. Lombardia race kind of in the middle of nowhere all by itself. World Championships, maybe. It's a good calendar. I can work with that. We need to set up our preseason. Where are you? There it is. Season objectives. Okay, well there's the obvious part. Going very high. I don't think we need to necessarily prepare for the Tour de France, but of course, anything I do prepare for, we're going to hit early. I do want to go with the World Championships. We're going to hit it a couple weeks early, but we'll still be in the fitness peak when the time comes. And with nothing really after it, I'm okay with that hitting a couple weeks early. Yes. Maybe the U.S. Championships. That says flat, but it also looks very punchy. I don't know if this is the right year to go for that, though. Tour de Suisse. That's a little too... Dauphiné, also a little too mountainous. Tour of California. It is a little more punchy. Or the Giro. We are scheduled for it, but of course if we hit it 2 weeks early, right, we're looking at it hitting or ending our peak after the first week, but look at that. +3 bonus on all those stages. We'd win some stages for sure, and I'm really not looking to compete in the overall. Maybe I'd be looking for KOM. Especially if we win some early stages, and then KOM once we drop in the standings. Without the bonuses, you get the +1 for the objective. You lose the fitness peak down the stretch, but still have the +1 for the objective. And the later stages fighting for the KOM. After initially fighting, right, you lose time stage 7. Maybe have the leader's jersey for a week? Sure. Why not? Let's do it. Alright, classics. Definitely classics here. And maybe Liège, Bastogne-Liège. That is super close together, and actually, right, if you hit 2 weeks early, we might just catch Liège, Bastogne-Liège on that fitness peak. So we can actually go back in time a little while. La Flèche Wallonne, I don't know if we'll catch that. We're not scheduled for this. Paris-Roubaix. We'd kind of roll from one fitness peak to another. And actually, it would help delay the Giro fitness peak a little bit if they were this close together, back to back. Because we'd end the fitness peak and we'd be part way towards our next one, but we wouldn't be all the way there, and it would still have to build. So it would actually delay the build maybe by a week. So maybe, which means we'd miss Liège, Bastogne-Liège, but let's do that. We'll set Paris-Roubaix as our target. So that bunches these up a little bit. And no, I don't want to do La Vuelta. We'll go for the World Championships. I'd love to see the rainbow jersey. Alright, let's go ahead and accept. Let's also get our skill point. Where are we? We started to get discovery going. I haven't really used observation at all. There's not much benefit from it. We go when we go, not really based on how strong they are. We go at the most appropriate time. A full climber, that's a little more useful. Seeing when somebody's at their end and giving a little push on those long climbs. Alright, well, it looks like we are ready to roll out on the season. Get our training set. Fix this up for the year. Hard. Take breaks. And we'll do that for the entirety of the season. And we're starting right away. So this will get fixed up to where this bar stays near the top. That's a good spot for a break. So that does bring me down a little bit, doesn't it? Down to 93. Apparently a little too soon for the break. There you go. Take the break there. See you at the first race. Welcome to the Santos Tour Down Under. It's stage number 5 already, and this is the famed Wollonga Hill stage, where we'll go over it twice. It's short, it's punchy, but it's also too far from the finish, so it's going to thin the peloton. And I'm going to look to try to thin it both times. So we'll see if we can thin it out a little bit the first time over with teammate attacks. Second time, we'll go ourselves. Now, the team objective is to win the stage, just based purely on the hill profile. This isn't your typical hill climb profile. I'm not saying that Alaphilippe doesn't have the ability to win this, and yes, he is here. But it's more suited to like my teammate Michael Matthews, who is punchy, not tremendously punchy, but he can definitely handle short, steep climbs, unlike other sprinters. And then there's that key element that he's a sprinter. He might not be quite the elite sprinter. He's not Gaviria, he's not Ewan, but he can handle climbs better than most, and we're actually already almost there, so let's get ourselves prepared. Now, this is stage number 5, so we're going to do a couple things here. First off, first 4 stages, they were all sprint stages, that's why I didn't bring those to you, but This is the different piece here. If we look at the profile, if you know your races, Santos Tour Down Under is unique in the sense that it's just the 18 World Tour teams. There's no invites given out. Now, I've seen other teams riding here in the past, in years past in real life. But I think generally those have been local Australian teams, and they either don't have continental status and they're just national, or in this case, they're defunct teams these days, and that very well could be the case. Of course, they do have Mitchelton Scott, but beyond that, there's not a lot of Australian teams out there anyway. I think there was a stage where they had 2 or 3, but Cadell Evans retired, and I don't know, popularity down, something. Regardless, here's the 18 teams. Duquesne Wanty Group Gobert, Wanty Group Gobert is a World Tour team. Jumbo-Visma, of course my team, Bahrain Merida, Groupama FDJ, Sunweb, Bora Hansgrohe, Movistar EF Education First, Lotto Sudal, UAE, Trek Segafredo, Astana, Direct Energy are a World Tour team now. And here's Vodafone. Yeah, Vodafone. British team. Did you notice I didn't say Ineos? Ineos is now Vodafone. AG2R, Corendon Circus, and then Mitchelton Scott. So 3 Continental Pro teams have made their way into World Tour status at the expense of some others. Right off the top of my head, I could say that Katusha is gone. I could say that Dimension Data is gone. I'll have to think about who the third one is that's absent. CCC. CCC is gone. That's the third one. So, those 3 gone, replaced by 3 Continental Pro teams, top Continental Pro teams, and then Ineos is now Vodafone. There's your makeup for that for the new season. We're going to get things moving here. Matthews is also leadership status for the day. I've got a +1 race day condition, so my hills is at 83. Mountain's a little bit more respectable. It's going to be hard to get this up where I need it with the hill rating where it is now. Stamina and resistance are both up. So we're in good shape, but we still don't have a top sprint, so actually winning the stage is going to be really difficult. But we have Oss and Sabatini. Sabatini's already up here, right? Oss is way to the back, so we're going to follow Sabatini. And then bring it down with me. There we go. So let's get it up here to where Sabatini is. And I'm going to up his relay.
Some team managers mustn't appreciate the fact that there is a breakaway, given that the pack has increased its speed.
Yeah, we're a little early here. Padoon, why don't you get up here as well? Or not. Don't give me control. Just flip the control around 50 million times. That's awesome. Oh, I hate how it does this sometimes. Okay. The constant switching of which rider you have with you ultimately means you don't have any support whatsoever. And that's really frustrating on how that works. But turn him on. Let's try this again. Up. See? It keeps switching. 4 riders in the break. They're about to be caught. Oliveira's in there. Just trying to put a little hurtin' into the group. Gonna lose a little bit of pace here near the top. But this is it. I mean, this is the climb. But it's 12 50%, so it is pretty extreme here near the top. But really, it's not doing that much damage. But he did his job. He did his job. He went over the top. But now he's done. And let's just relax.
The pace seems much too high for many riders.
25 seconds is the gap in front. At this point, Peloton's still coming up and over. But we've hardly lost anyone. 117 riders. It looks like everyone got over the top pretty comfortably. Still early in the stage, but I was hoping to do a little more damage than that. I was hoping to bring it down to 70 or 80. But the pace over the next 40 kilometers could and should help bring that down a bit further. So hopefully we've done a little bit of damage. That can then translate to less recovery. But if we destroyed Pibernik and then he is already mostly recovered and on the front, that's not going to do much good. This gap will close.
Several riders are on the ground.
We're not even catching that breakaway. They're still as far out as they were. Now we bring them in as we approach the finish. Now 20k, and we're coming up on Wollonga Hill for the second time. I'd like Daniel Oss to get up here to where I am, please. Thank you. Or Padoon, would you do something for me? Gosh. This constant switch between Oss and Padoon is really screwing us up.
They really are moving. The pack can't get strung out too far, or it's going to start breaking up.
Well, here we go again.
Last 15 kilometers of the stage.
And we're already seeing a little acceleration from these guys, and I'm missing the acceleration. We'll cover it off real quick, though. Phillipson, Pollitt.
The group is slowly thinning out due to such a frantic
Now, I'm not going to win this solo. It is absolutely not going to happen. But as we approach the top, we can force a small group to cover us off. And then instead of 117, hopefully the small group can stay together and take to the victory. Got a good flat rating, but again, I do not want to use all my energy, so I'd like these four riders to catch us.
Obviously don't have anybody in the breakaway group. 10 kilometers to the finish line.
Alaphilippe, Tischbenut, Eiking, Tolhoek are the four chasing Caleb Ewan, Gaudu, Pino, Cosnefroy, and Youngles are the next group, and they're not far behind, and there you go, we're starting to come back together. Again, I was fully expecting this to an extent. We're at 27 now, and Oss and Matthews are both here. Be nice if we could keep it at this, but more groups still coming back because nobody's really picked up pacemaking at the front just yet. 6k to go, and now we're seeing another attack.
Things are hotting up at the front. The riders are entering the last 5 kilometers of the stage.
I went to use my gel earlier, but I didn't because of the... Okay, we're in a good spot. We're in a good spot here. Okay.
There we go.
Final K.
The riders are setting themselves
Sprint, 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 sprint. Top three.
a great win.
Caleb Ewan takes the win over Gaviria. Oh, fourth. Costafroy takes third. I thought I had him. Colbrelli.
Have made it through sheer willpower.
That's the actual sprinters taking it. And that was the thing. I knew this was never going to be a solo breakaway for the victory. Meaning I had no chance of winning this stage. But we do get fourth place. And had to have been millimeters away from third. Because I thought I had Benoit Cosnefroy beat. But did enough. He did just enough to outsprint me on the line. But then I'm surrounded by sprinters in the top 5. Before you get to Alaphilippe, Scoins, Pino, the guys like myself that are punchy, trying to get it. Michael Matthews only manages 16th. He should have easily beaten me. It would have been much better if only that first group came back and then the 5 of us would have actually worked together, or the second group comes back and the 9 or 10 of us actually work together, because then it wouldn't have been Caleb Ewan, Gaviria, Cosnefroy taking Colbrelli, claiming the stage. They were allowed to come back.
And here are the race highlights that we've selected for you.
Almost picked up some bonus seconds. Third would have been nice. By the way, Matthews picked up 1 second at some point, but then you still have a big group here, 42 seconds behind. That's your main group through 44 riders now. Gaviria leads by 1 second over Ewan. Those two have been battling back and forth for every stage. And I know the team says that's a bad evaluation, but not a typical sprint stage, obviously. But it definitely wasn't a typical hills stage either. It's a little bit of a mix. Small bunch sprint. Caleb Ewan takes the final stage. That should give him the overall as well. It does. So the Australian wins the home race. Michael Matthews takes 7th. Edmondson took 5th, by the way. So 3 Australians in the top 10. And I claim 24th in the first race of the year, and my first race with Bahrain Merida. Not exactly a top-notch result by any means. But we'll move on to the second race, which is going to be Mallorca. Alright, so this is stage 2 of the Tour of Mallorca. I have a +2 race day condition, and today they're actually telling me to get into the breakaway of all things, so we'll see if we can. As strong as I am as a rider, they might not let me go, but with a weak mountain rating overall, they might let me go. I've got a chance on this stage if I can survive the climb. That's just over halfway through the stage. It's only 150. Oh, Antonio Nibali is here. Apparently he's the leader today. But we'll see if we can get into the break. See if that's permissible. Here we go, into this group. It's a good spot to be. That's 6 away. There's 1 more behind us. It's a teammate. 2 more behind that. So we're looking at maybe 9. JJ Rojas, Van Dam, Scottson, Van Wilder, Clays, a couple new faces. And yes, there are 9 away, but it looks like there's 6 more trying to get away. I'd like for those 3 to catch us, and 9 would be perfect. Because Damiano Caruso is in that following chase. Oh, and apparently he's got leadership status over me. Apparently they have no faith in my climbing ability. Caruso's got a decent climb on him. 74. But I could definitely win that final climb. Short, punchy. It's just whether I can survive to the end. And thanks to them putting me in the break, it's going to be a lot harder. But we have good stamina, and for a day like this in the break, that 82 rating is going to be fantastic. Resistance at a 74, very tolerable. Yeah, and even that mountain rating's a 72. today. So we're up to 12 riders in the break. There's one more off the front, but we only have just over a minute on the peloton right now. So peloton not yet convinced that this group is the right group. So they're still giving us a bit of chase. Looking around. Is he... Oh, there's Katusha. So Katusha still exists. They're just a Continental Pro team now. Oh, you guys are fighting for the KOM points. I'm thinking about the stage win. Okay, things are slowing down. Peloton's backed off 2.5 minutes.
Uh-oh, the gap is widening. It's now more than 2 minutes. The peloton seems content to let it grow.
Looking at a big climb here. This is pretty steep. Like, this is the steepest thing we get until... Well, there's another steep one. It's going to be a tough day for me. I very well could be dropped and this not work out. No, I don't want to go on the front, please. Thank you. So all 13 are together. We do have that 2.5 minute gap. If the field backs off enough, we'll be okay. We can go ×2 speed for a while. And we're just going to try to maintain this. Climbing is pretty relentless on a stage like this, which really does not suit my rider's style. But again, the finish absolutely suits my style. So if for some reason we're still there, I'm still in it, we can win this thing. Oops. Back to me. Objective 25% met. Had a bit of recovery here. No, back off, back off, back off. Sprint point coming up. I might be interested in that one. 4K. 2.5K. Slow down. 1K. Sprint. Not the only one going for it. And we do it. Nice, okay. Well, that's worth 3 seconds. We opened up a 40-second gap on 5 chase riders. Caruso's in that chase. That means 8 of us contested that. And I beat them out for it, so... That's an absolute sign that if I could beat them in a sprint on the flat, or the sprint that's a 69, I can definitely beat them on an uphill sprint. So, if this breakaway survives, I absolutely can win this stage. But survival is very unlikely. Peloton just 2 minutes behind. Group just now coming back together, but also splitting. We just lost a rider off the back. 2 riders off the back. 3 riders. 4 riders. Down to 9. That was that steepest section that we just went through. Minor from here to the top. Maybe I'll get involved in the KOM now because I'm feeling strong. 2.5K to go. And I'm already coming up near the top. Slow it down 1.5. There we go. Here goes the contestants for it.
Their front group is disorganized, and some riders are exploiting this.
2 guys off the front. Easily into 3rd place right now. That's enough for me. That's just a couple points. Not too interested in it. It's worth 2 points. But it also thinned the group out a bit, and that's part of this, is I don't want to get dropped. But Caruso and I are both here. And we've got quite a few riders out the back, so the peloton is shrinking. See, Garosio. Until I know nationality, it's going to be hard to figure out how to pronounce that one. Daniel Oss. Daniel Oss is off the back. Romano is off the back. Ant Sven Rensburg and Antonio Nibali, the only ones left in the peloton. I think Vincenzo is retired here in the game now. But we've got just a group of 4 now, so the breakaway has thinned out considerably. With that big climb coming up, 4 is a little bit small, especially with the peloton still right at 2 minutes. But again, you get over that climb and still have a gap. You've got every chance to still get to the end. That's still a lot, but the descending, you're not going to lose ground there. So you've got kind of 2 more or less flat sections to get through. So it's not looking too favorable. But Caruso and I both here, along with Rojas and Van Dam, 2 decent riders. Let's see, do I have anything rating-wise on these guys? I've got Rojas. And yeah, no, he's very beatable. Oh, oi! What the heck was that? We all just froze and then let this guy ride up on us. Okay. Tagline, don't have anything on him.
Just gotta hang on. We're halfway to the finish line. The team leaders should be coming more and more to the fore.
So Caruso not working, he's making me do the work, meaning he's actually going to have the better chance. But here comes the big climb. He better do his work through that period. And I'll be the one sitting on. Peloton's down to 64 riders, but our lead is down to a minute. And the big climb is coming, so that's not a good thing. Rojas trying to ride off onto his own. After that weird little glitchy 10-second loss for us where we stood still and let Battaglin catch up to us. That gap is getting small and quick. It's 44 seconds now. And Rojas is still off the front. Alright, so recovered fairly well on that short descent. So it has Caruso. Actually looking better than Nibali and Van Rensburg in their chase. But nobody is working together right now. None of us are doing anything. So maybe I need to just go off at my own pace here. Because there comes the peloton. And they've already been caught. Just like that, 27 seconds is the gap. Now if I can catch Rojas, try to ride with him for a little while, see how that goes. Let's see my rating for a moment. Let's just catch him. There you go. There you go. Okay, let's do it this way. So we have 30 seconds. Keep an eye on that gap because the peloton is shrinking. It's down to 45. 63K. It's a long, long stage. Oop, I'm leaving him behind, aren't I? But that also means the peloton's coming. You Can't slow down like that. Rojas, he just can't handle it anymore. Okay, we've been caught. We're into a peloton of just 37 riders. So now I can sit on, and look, there's no chase because they've already caught. Bettiol, Hershey on the front, Dombrowski, Amador. And yeah, I'm blinking red at a 62, but look, I'm third wheel. So I'm okay with that for a little bit. Let's speed things up. This is that difficult part. Remember, if I survive this, I could definitely win the stage. So being in the break could have been a very strong thing for me. Jans van Rensburg has been dropped, but Nibali and Caruso are both here in the peloton. Okay, we're past that little halfway point where we had that small respite, but we're now 5K from the top. And nobody's doing any damage right now, so this is actually really good. 3-minute gap to 14 riders behind, and those guys are shattering, so some of them are closing the gap, but I don't think they're going to catch us. So these 37 should be it to the end, and it looks like I'm going to make it. 2.5K, 2K. I've actually got a chance to maybe go get some KOM points. These are the valuable ones. Slow it down. There's the 1K banner.
It's a puncture.
900 meters. Let's go do it. I've got enough pace here to get over the top first. Good. And look at that. I've got the KOM leader's jersey just like that. 12 points now. 10 points for going over the top first. We're down to 31 riders, 34. Caruso, Nibali don't want to work with me, but that's okay. I don't need them to. It looks like the stage victory could actually be mine. Who'd have thunk it? Win a mountain stage? But see, it's not all about basic classification. Couldn't win a hill stage previously because it wasn't really a hill stage. Small bunch. But still sprint. This time, it's a mountain stage. And it's definitely a mountain stage. But right circumstances, right format, right way of handling the stage. Small, punchy climb. I haven't won it yet though, so we've got to take care of business on that part. But I'm fully recovered, and we've got 36 riders, and nobody's coming back at us. So over 2 minutes to the chase group, and I don't think they're going to catch us. The yellow jersey, the leader of the race, is behind us. Kruiswijk, Conchi, Slagter, Craddock, Lambertink, De Gent, all behind us. Wow. Is Kruiswijk the yellow jersey? I don't know. Doubt it. We haven't had any climbing stages. Ooh. Hello, sprint stage, 3 seconds. Yes. Or sprint point. Easy, easy. Got it, got it. Okay, sit up. Caught that just in time. We just picked up an additional 3 seconds, so that's 6 seconds that we've picked up already. So now we're just 5 seconds off the race lead. If we do win the stage, we will have the leader's jersey. Now that final climb, I don't know quite how long it is. But it's very straightforward in format. So I want to use my gel with about 5.5K to go. Right, sprint is normally 6. It's going to be a pretty quick climb, I think. And the attack could come early. That's why we'll go at 5.5. Ooh, we're up to 60 riders. Somebody caught up to us. That chase group caught us. How tired are those guys going to be, though? I don't know. They might not be that tired because I don't think there's been much pace. I mean, look at us. We're not pushing. I'm going backwards at the moment, though. Not a fan of that. 6K. 5.3. There we go. Let's use it.
Only 5 kilometers left.
Now, climb looks to be just under 4K in length because we're going to come around this corner. And then when we do the switchback, that's where we're going to really start going uphill. Slightly uphill at the moment. 3. Okay, it's only 3K.
Now the guys up front are asking serious questions of the riders in the rear as more of them are left in the wake.
Okay, 1.7. Back off for a little bit. 1.5. Now we speed back up. 1K. 800 meters.
There goes the sprint. Strong men are giving
500 meters. Keep going, keep going. Ah, Quintana. What? Quintana? That's a mountain rating. De Moulin. That's a mountain rating for those guys that helped.
Well, nobody can dispute
We'll
that
take
win.
third.
It was very well deserved.
I'll pick up 4 seconds. I don't know if that's enough. I might be in the leader's jersey. Masnada takes 4th. Hershey 5th. Carthy 6th. Mühlberger. Either way, I just survived a mountain stage. By the way, on this game, Tom Dumoulin's ratings are all effed up. In real life,
The riders bringing up their rear
one of the best time trialists in the world.
This stage was a real strength.
And is a decent climber. He is not world class as a climber, but on here, in this game, he's an 82 rating for a climber. I'd say he's about a 79. Right? Geraint Thomas is an 80 in this game and finished 9th. Geraint Thomas is a much better climber than Tom Dumoulin. Nairo Quintana is, these days, right? I mean, yeah, multiple second place finishes at the Tour de France. Clearly not what he once was. Nairo Quintana is still as good, if not better, than Tom Dumoulin as a climber, from what I've seen. So I would definitely argue that Tom Dumoulin is tolerable as a climber. He has won Grand Tours, but he hasn't won them on the climbs. He's survived the climbs. He's lost minimal time on the climbs. He hangs in there. He doesn't win it there. He wins it on the time trial, where he takes 2-3 minutes out of everyone. Meanwhile, loses a minute and a half on the climbs. So that's not accurate. Somebody who's an 82, right? That is a different climber. That's Lopez. That's Froome. Quintana is an 80-81. Geraint Thomas is a 79-80. It was kind of the same thing for him. He fell into the right circumstances. But, yeah, Geraint Thomas is definitely a better climber than Tom Dumoulin, in my, at the moment, not so humble opinion. I'd be okay with an 80 rating for him. But just that 82, it's too much. It's too good. Ooh, Tom Dumoulin and I, same time. But I've got the lead on countback somehow. Alrighty. Quintana is 3rd, Micah 4th, Amador 5th, Battaglan 6th. And there are still 45 riders in with a shout for the overall. I've got the sprint jersey by 1 point. I've got the KOM. I picked up a couple additional points at the top here. Got the under 25s by 10 seconds. So I'm in good shape here. Breakaway, of course, was caught on that second climb, so I was no longer in the break. There never was a break after that. But everything else came up with a pretty positive evaluation, 34 points, plus 7 on the manager satisfaction. There are 2 stages left to go. And how do they look? Stage 3. And that's classified as a hill stage. Those 2 climbs are going to be pretty dang difficult to get over. And if, in fact, all of these climbs, we could be dropped long before we get to that finish. If we're still there, yes, we have a chance. Stage 4, sprint stage. So it's all to play for on that next stage, but I am out of time. That's going to do it for this episode on Decathlon Gamer. Be sure to hit that like button. I'll see you next time. We're nowhere near the point so far. Oh, there we go. Bye for now.